Yes, that's Tika. Can you believe it? She's fussing at me because she wants to go back outside in the garden. Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. I'm Taffany and I want to welcome you to my garden, Tika's Gardens. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of planting and a few garden updates for you. I garden in Spring, Texas, Zone 9B, so we're kind of semi-tropical, and my garden is maybe a year old. Some places are only a few months old, so everything is fairly new here, and we're slowly building it and growing it, and we're going to be able to watch it mature and grow together over the next few years. So I'm glad that you guys have been watching and following this journey with me. But for today, we're going to do some planting, some garden updates, and a little watering, just some basic miscellaneous things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have some red vinca that I'm going to be planting in that circle bed around the Barbados cherry that I just planted the other day. The other thing I'm going to be doing is, well, let me give you the backstory. About 3 years ago I planted some celosia in the yard, and ever since then I have not had to buy any, because as you know, they drop seed like crazy. So each year when the seeds start coming up, I let them get to a certain height and I dig them up and I just put them somewhere in the yard for that year. So same thing I'm going to do. This is the third season, and again, I'm not having to buy any. I had red and I had yellow. I see just the yellow is coming up this year, so we're going to use the yellow. So I'm going to take those. They are in the circle bed, the large circle bed in the back bedroom garden. I'm going to dig those up and I'm going to put them right here into the bed to my right, where the fireplace wall is, where I put the boxwood hedge. I'm going to put them in between the boxwoods just so that there can be some color there, since the boxwoods are small. So we're going to plant some vinca around the Barbados cherry tree. We're going to transplant the celosia into the fireplace wall bed, and then I'm going to show you what the side garden looks like along the drive, and I'm going to update you on how the self-watering pots and the water sensor is working, because it was going off last night flashing blue, and I was so excited. I tried to record some of it. It was kind of dark, but I got what I could in the darkness. So first thing, let's go over here and look at the pot, and I'll show you that it is no longer flashing. So, and I'll stick a clip in here to show you what it looked like last night. So let's start there, go look at the side drive, and then we will get the flowers planted and do some watering, and that hopefully is going to be it for the day. And one other thing for you guys who are watching, you may notice that I have a little swelling in my lips. I had some walnuts yesterday. I did not know, well, I only had one that I tried. I did not know I was allergic, so I had welts on my body. My lips was swollen. So yeah, I took something yesterday for it. I didn't really have anything, so this morning I got some Benadryl, which I took before I came out. So my goal is to get everything done before I get drowsy. But just in case you notice a little swelling, that is what it's from. But I didn't want to keep it from me coming out in the garden and getting some things done, so I'm here swollen lip and all. So just bear with me, show some mercy while I'm trying to garden, and let's hope I can get through this before the drowsiness sets in from that Benadryl. All right, so let's take a look at the pot first. So guys, typically I like to come outside in the evening just to look at the stars and everything, and I bring Tika with me, and I will just stand and kind of hold her, and she just stares up with me. into the sky. But when I came out, I noticed the light was blinking. As you can see, it is blinking blue, which is telling me that the water chamber is either empty or the water level is just so low that it can't detect it anymore. So let's see if we can take a peek inside and see what the water level looks like. Okay, I see absolutely no water there at all. So that means that pretty much all of the water is gone. So I'm going to get a container so that I can refill this with water. I don't see the other pot flashing, just this one. So we'll work on this one for right now. So guys, I had no plans of recording anything. As I said, I was just stepping outside to enjoy the evening, me and Tika. So I just grabbed my camera real quick. So this is a little bit of an awkward situation here because I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand and the water pitcher with the other, and it's dark and this whole thing is just not working out here. But you know, I did my best so that you can see the water sensor and you can see how the self-watering pot and all that works together. But right now, even though it's kind of hard to see, I'm pouring water into the base of the pot here, into the water chamber. So let's get that done. So as soon as I filled the chamber and put the sensor back in the pot, it was no longer flashing blue. So as you could see there, so this system does work, and I do not add water to the pot from the top. I haven't watered this pot since I set these pots up a couple of weeks ago or so. The only water it gets is what comes from the water chamber below. So I have to give this system a thumbs up. I do really like it. It does work, and it is going to be perfect for when I travel. Alright guys, so while I'm here, these are the vinca that I'm going to be planting around the cherry tree. They are called dark red vinca, and they are so pretty. Such a nice vibrant color. And I'm going to move this pot a little bit out of the way. So as you can see, it is not flashing. I did add water last night. I added water to this one, and I added water to the hanging baskets because they were pretty much dry as well. So let's see, there's another shot. So I'm gonna stick the clip in from last night so you can see what it looked like when it was blinking, and you can see what I did. Like I said, it was dark, so I did the best I could with recording. So that's that. Let's put the pot back. There we go. And while we're here, let me take a look at this one. I didn't take a glance to see if it's blinking. It is not blinking yet. So the good news is that we know that that works. Here I have some fresh compost and stuff to put in that bed around the tree for when we're planting. Oh, and I almost forgot. I got this for Mother's Day. It's a hanging basket. I took the hanging part off and I just put it here. So I'm going to try to find a match for it. But yes, that was a gift for me for Mother's Day. So I love it. Now let's head out to the side bed here. As you can see, I laid some mulch down yesterday. It's nice and fresh. I stopped there. My hope is to get my husband to help me out with the remainder of it because it's a pretty big section and this can be pretty tiring. Those bags are kind of heavy. But yes, it looks so good. And we just got a new bloom to open up today, as you can see. So that white popping off of that fresh black mulch looks so good. So everything's doing well out here. And here are a couple more of the mulch bags. Of course, I always try to get the broken bags when I can. And they had a good stockpile yesterday, so I was able to get a few. So let me show you where I'm going to put the celosia. This is the fireplace bed. And in between those boxwoods is where I'm going to put the celosia, just so that there's some color here, because the boxwoods are small right now. Once they're bigger, I won't have to do that, or maybe I can put something behind them. I don't know, but right now it is small. Here is the Barbados cherry, and guess what, guys? Look, we've got one that is ripe, so I will be picking that today. But as you can see, this is where we're going to be laying the mulch and planting the vincas. And I want to apologize for the noise. I have my neighbor behind me. They are doing some work. I don't know what, but they've been working since yesterday, so you'll hear that in the background. These are the celosia coming up. I'm going to dig those up and put those in the fireplace bed. And there is Miss Tika sunbathing. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of my supplies, get it over to the back bedroom garden, and we're going to get started working. But guys, I can't help looking at these pots. The zinnia is so pretty, and I really love the way that center looks. So that is like a cream dreamland zinnia. I have a common tansy surrounded by white vinca in there. I have a gazania. It's getting ready to give some more blooms. That is the transplanted eugenia shrub that I pulled from the bedroom garden and put in a pot. And that there and this here are the lantana that were pulled up from the front bed, circle beds around the trees in the front garden. All right, let me get everything I need and let us get back to the bedroom garden, and let's get planting and get everything watered in. So guys, I need 4 more of the red vinca, so I may run to the store later or tomorrow to get another pack so I can fill this in. And the pack is a 6-pack, so if I use 4 I'll have 2 left, so I'll probably just put that 2 right here behind me. But this is so pretty. Oh my gosh, let me step back and let you look at it. So here it is, guys. It looks really good. I like this color red. It is the perfect red for this garden. It goes with the other reds so well. Of course, as I said, I've got these last empty spaces. I need 2 more for each empty spot for a total of 4, and that will complete the section. But I like it. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. Alright guys, so now it's time to start pulling up the celosia so we can get it transplanted into the fireplace wall bed there where the boxwoods are. And so the transplanting won't be difficult because they're still small. I just have to dig them up and divide those that are in a clump. And this one, as you can see, is a single, and it has a good root system, a good size root. So I've had luck doing this the past couple of years, so I'm expecting that this year should not be any different. They should be able to be dug up and placed somewhere else, and they should grow very well, just like they have for me in the past. So let's get these up and get these over to the other bed now. Alright guys, well I am done with all of the planting and the watering and everything. So let's take one last look at what we've done today as far as the planting is concerned. Now you will notice that I was short on my vinca, so I have to go back and get some more, but that's okay. You can get an idea of what it's going to look like as is. So let's take a look at that. Okay guys, one final look. So we need 4 more and it will be complete back there, but that looks so good and it's just a perfect punch of color. And as far as the celosia are concerned, here they are. I divided them up. So I planted a total of 6. And anyone who's grown celosia knows that they grow pretty big, and they grow pretty fast, so we don't have to worry about these at all. And if I step back, you can kind of see them sticking up. So this will provide a punch of color here while the boxwoods grow. And as I said, even once they've grown big enough to touch, we could probably still put something behind them for a punch of color around that lime tree. So that is that. Before I go, I almost forgot. I'm gonna pick my first cherry. Alright guys, well, I'm going to take this in the house, wash it off, give it a taste, and I'll let you know in my next video what it tastes like. I've heard people describe it as tart and sweet at the same time. We'll see, but you know, most people I watched said that it was actually a delicious fruit, so I'm gonna let you know what it tastes like. But for now, I am done for the day. The Benadryl, I'm starting to feel it. My swelling, I hope, will go down, and I want to thank you for bearing with me for today as I'm gardening and dealing with my allergic reaction to the walnuts. I didn't know I was allergic, but now I do, so because I don't eat walnuts, so you know, I had no idea, and I only had part of one and had that severe of a reaction. So I know next time, just stay away from walnuts. But in the meantime, I'm gonna call it quits. I want to thank you for gardening with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. All right, so here goes. It does have kind of a tart taste to it, but not really, really tart. It's actually pretty good. A citrusy taste, a little tartness to it, but not too bad. It is, when I say bad, I mean not like really tart like a lemon. It's just a mild tartness, and it is a nice little flavor kick. I like it, and these are gonna be good in smoothies. So I'm gonna eat the rest of my cherry, and all right guys, see you later. Bye. Yes, that's Tika. Can you believe it? She's fussing at me because she wants to go back outside in the garden. Bye, guys.